Reagan's Presidency and Social Concerns of the 1980s by Hunter Oliver. Reaganomics. When President Reagan took office, one of his main goals was to lessen the size and influence of the federal government. Americans were very nervous about the economy of the 1980s, so their concern allowed new approaches for the federal government and taxes. Budget cuts. Reagan's main strategy for downsizing the federal government was huge budget cuts in the government spending and social programs. The government under Reagan cut the budget by 10% on programs like food stamps, welfare benefits, Medicaid, and student loans. Tax cuts. Reaganomics was rested upon supply-side economics. This is a theory that if people pay less taxes, they will save more money. Because of Reagan's pushing on the subject, Congress lowered the income taxes by 25% over a 3-year period. Increase in defense spending. Reagan authorized for increased military spending that more than offset the budget cuts from the social programs. In a period of 3 years, the budget for defense had almost doubled. Recession and recovery. July 1981 until November 1982, the U.S. economy was in the greatest recession it had been in since the Great Depression. In 1983, the economy took a spike. Employment declined, the gross national product increased by almost 10%. National debt climbs. Even when it appeared that the economy was making a recovery, there were still many problems that plagued the economy. Tax cuts had helped the rich, but social welfare cuts hurt the poor. Even with cuts to the federal government, spending still outweighed the federal revenue. Health, education, and cities in crisis. In the 1980s, many cities and rural suburban areas were dealing with crises in health, education, and safety. During these crises, Americans focused their attention on issues like AIDS, drug abuse, abortion, and education. Abortion. Abortions had been illegal until 1973 when Congress said it was legal to kill a baby in the first trimester of a pregnancy because it's the woman's right. In 1989, the Supreme Court ruled that it was the state's right to impose new restrictions on abortion. As a result, restrictions varied from state to state. Drug abuse. During this time, many people had the idea that drugs would be legalized to reduce the power of the gangs. Reagan's administration even launched a war on drugs that prosecuted users and dealers. Education. There was a commission made to better the school systems and improve the quality of education. After the commission was made, they recommended that the schools give more homework, longer school days, and longer school years. Exxon oil spill. An oil tanker owned by Exxon Shipping Company spilled 11 million gallons of crude oil into Alaska's Prince William Sound on March 24, 1989. Exxon Valdez oil spill covered 1,300 miles of coastline. The NASA Space Shuttle Challenger exploded January 28, 1986, just 73 seconds after liftoff, bringing a terrible end to the aircraft's 10th mission.